Guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to take a look into the new driving irons from TaylorMade. But remember, if you like our channel, please hit that subscribe button and tell all your golfing friends. So as the season starts, TaylorMade decided to launch the P Series utility iron. So they've got two irons in this range, the UDI and the DHY. They've used those names over a number of years now, back into the stealth days and even prior to that. Well, what's the difference? Well, you've got the utility driving iron, which is the UDI, and the DHY is the driving hybrid. Two slightly different heads designed for two slightly different ball flights and two slightly different golfers. The UDI is really that low launching, low trajectory one. The guy, maybe if you want a bit stronger, that's definitely going to help you flight the ball down. If you struggle popping the ball up, I think you'll see players typically use this. I mean, it's a thinner shape, so much narrower in the sole. I think typically you're going to see players use this iron off the tee. However, TaylorMade do say it's quite handy out of the rough because it's quite a thin profile. The driving hybrid, however, is a little bit thicker. There's a bit of a lower centre of gravity. It's going to pop the ball and launch the ball that little bit higher. Designed for that guy that maybe struggles with hybrids, enjoys hitting a longer iron. That's the kind of type of product that you'd go into. I think you're going to see guys on tour use UDI more, mainly because they're going to be switching out for maybe their lofted woods in windier conditions, the opens coming up and so on and so forth. They do this in three lofts, so 17, 20, 22. You've got effectively a 2, 3 and 4 iron. They're not, you know, this is a real niche product. It's not really going to be a product that for everyone. We know that, although we know guys that have struggled with the longer irons, especially in the P. If you've got P790 and you don't really get on with the 4 iron, but you want to play a 4 iron, I think DHY will sit into that pocket quite nicely for you. Not so sure about UDI in that world, but I think DHI will sit there quite nicely. So let's have a hit. Let's put them on TrackMan and see what different flights I can get. So we'll go straight out the gate. We'll jump into the UDI, so the one that I would consider possibly a little bit more difficult to hit. So when you pop this one down, nice. To be honest, it gives you a fairly a warm and fuzzy feeling in terms of how comfortable that is to hit. You know, it's a longer iron in essence, so slightly thicker top edge. You can see the back of the club a little bit, which is okay, not too off-putting at all. They go with the standard recoil dart in these, so it's a standard. I know there's custom options, but the standard shaft is what I'm trying today. They've got a graphite in there as well. So let's have a couple of hits. So I've got the 4 iron here, which is the 22 degree. Let's see if we can pop a couple down the fairway. So first instinct is that really is very similar in terms of feel to the P790 more than the P770. So you can see, you know, it fits into the family quite nicely. Let's see if I can hit a couple more. The one thing to say for this is that I mean, that was a horrible, horrible strike. These aren't going to be irons that are for everyone. These aren't going to be irons that I would be promoting. And even if you watch back on the video that I did down at TaylorMade with Lee, this is the type of iron that I actually traditionally would have gone for. I would have put a 2 iron in my bag back in the day. I would have put a 3 iron in my bag. And if you watch back on that video, you'll see how, because of my launch conditions and actually just landing angle, I actually really struggle with that now. And I hit it quite hard and I can get the ball quite high, but I really struggle with 3, 4 iron. With the lofts of these modern irons going much stronger, I actually have always struggled getting the ball to stop. So hence why Lee took this type of club out of my bag. I had a traditional 3 and 4 iron, and he put in a 5 wood. So, you know, this is going to be a real niche product for people. So UDI, you know, it looks nice. I can see where it fits. I think if you have that luxury of being able to, which very, very few people do, let's be brutally honest, if you have that luxury of being able to switch clubs for rounds, then I think you might see the guy that likes to play on the coast or play by the links type courses drop in a 2 and 3 iron for those low little runners up those hard and fast fairways in the summer, and then drop it out in the winter when they pop their 5 wood or maybe a 7 wood back in the bag. I mean, it's a decent iron. I'm not gonna rubbish the iron whatsoever. But you can see how much I'm struggling with that. I'm just really struggling to get good contact, 100% technique. But you can see that if you're off with this type of iron at that sort of distance, you know, 195 carry is technically nowhere for me with a 4 iron. You've seen some of the previous videos. I've hit 7 irons 180, so 4 iron at 195 isn't exciting. I can't find the middle. It's not overly forgiving. Let's see if we can hit one and see if we can get one that looks a bit better. A little bit skinny on the face. Got away with that one a little bit, I think. Bit more like it in terms of carry for my 4 iron. It's a nice club. I can see where it fit with bag. Let's jump in and let's change it over now and let's have a look at the DHY. So this one, I think you're going to see more off the tee. The main difference when we lay that back down is you can see an awful lot of the club head or the back of the club behind the ball. So it actually reminds me a little bit, sounds daft this, but that little shape, and TaylorMade would hate me saying that, but a little curvature off the back of the head. The old kind of Cleveland hybrids had that. Back in the day, Callaway did a Big Bertha kind of, not a driving iron as such, but they were the first ones to do a 2 iron that everyone went behind, and it's kind of got that chunky, forgiving feel. So this one technically should go a little bit higher off the face. It definitely gives you a bit more forgiveness. In terms of look, you know, it kind of breeds a little bit more confidence, I would say. I say it gives you a bit more forgiveness, but gives you a bit more look. If we get Chris there to bring the numbers up, I can just talk through the differences in terms of the data there. So let's just hit a couple more and then we can have a better comparison. That was a better strike. It's, you know, I just wouldn't, and this is a purely, you know, this is, we talk about these reviews and it's a good, it's a good looking product. I get it, I get where it sits. Personally, I'm struggling to kind of feel confident with that type of iron. You can see there though, little bit higher launch with DHY, so a degree or so higher. What else have we got in there? A little bit higher spin, not too much to write home about. And overall, you can see the land angle has gone up. So let's just hit one or two more with the DHY. Oh, that was horrendous. And that's kind of, I think that's why I'm going 5 wood, right? Like, I've put a 5 wood back in the bag for the first time ever in a golfing career, and it's mainly because I can't get an iron in the air. Oh, it's just horrendous. Come on, one more. I would say it's a little bit more forgiving than the UDI though. I've got away with a couple more with that. But, you know, 210, 220 yards out, the last thing you want is something that's difficult to hit and got no give in it. Yeah, not a great display of ball striking when testing these, but I think it's a really good example of how, if you're slightly off with a club like this, you're not going to get much forgiveness. And I see where it fits in the bag. If you are struggling with hybrids, if you are struggling with the look or how a fairway would sit, then these irons are certainly an option, and they are a great blend and a great addition to the P series range. So look, I've enjoyed hitting them, haven't swung it great. It's probably something not really where I'm going to be looking for. So, hey guys, look, overall, it's a great product, but it's time to give it the AF Golf Store score. So guys, it's time for the AF Golf Store score. So we'll start with our favourite one, which is look. Overall, I think it's very good looking product. I'm not a big fan of the DHY and the way it sits behind the ball, but that's because I'm a bit more of a traditionalist in the style. UDI does sit really nice though. From the back, they are sharp looking product. You know, it's sharp looking irons. They look good on the rack, and do you know what? They've done an excellent job, as they always do, of blending that into the P series range. So you could go into P7, P790, P770, PMC, and you could kind of fit that quite nicely. So look, I'm going to give that an 8 out of 10. In terms of feel, like I've said before, it feels exactly like the rest of the P series range. So P770, P790. If you saw the videos before of the TaylorMade one I did down in Basingstoke, I really enjoyed hitting 770. So I'm going to kind of go in that vibe of 8 again. In terms of custom options, well, obviously you've only got 3 heads. It's all you need. They are going to fit the top end of the bag. You can get some different shaft options, and obviously from our perspective, we can put anything we want in this head. We can build this upstairs, and Rob can kind of make this as funky and as colourful as you want. So on that basis, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 as well. In terms of overall performance, well, overall performance I think is a tough one, because if I'm brutally honest with you, I think they are a very niche market, and they're going to be quite Marmite, these things, right? So if you do enjoy hitting them, you're going to really enjoy it, and if you can't hit it, like I've proved today, you're not going to enjoy it, and you're not going to get any forgiveness. Overall performance, I think it's they do what they say. I think what I would say with this iron is that I'm going to sit it down at 6 out of 10, and just because it hasn't got the level of forgiveness that I think most of the market is going to need in that. Now, the final one, of course, is price. Now, price, these are 230 quid, so they're not cheap. A little bit more expensive than a standard P7 iron, runs in with the graphite. So cheaper than most of your standard hybrids nowadays. Price, I would say it's in that competitive in that driving iron market. So overall, I think I'm going to give that a 7 out of 10. So that for us on the P series driving irons is a score of 37 out of 50. Guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. It's always good to test product that I probably wouldn't use. Now, you want to stay tuned, because the next video is going to be a cool one. It's going to be T200 versus Apex. Remember, if you like our videos and you want to keep up to date with what we're doing, hit that subscribe button and tell all your golfing friends.